Well, that was pretty gosh darn inevitable, wasn't it? As Disney and Universal become the first major studios to launch a copyright lawsuit against an AI image generator, in this case, Midjourney, alleging that not only is its image generator spitting out literally thousands upon thousands of copyright infringing works every single solitary second, but that there are even hundreds if not thousands of images generated by its image service at the request of its subscribers that infringe plaintiffs' copyrighted works featured on their website right now. And if we go to Midjourney, that does indeed look an awful lot like Mickey Mouse. And hey, I don't doubt it for even a second, as there is so much AI-generated work out there right now because literally everyone can go to any of a dozen generators, type Batman, and there you go. There's gonna be little inconsistencies, there's gonna be little errors, little quibbles here and there, but you're going to get Batman. And hell, image generation is just the tip of the iceberg. You've got things like chatbots where you can bone Batman if you so choose. You can have him compose verbs for you, entire poems if that is your desire. And that, of course, that's not even close to the worst thing. Oh no, allow me to introduce you to Disney's fucking nightmare: video AI. So this is a bit of a viral phenomenon that's popping off at the moment. Greg the Stormtrooper. This is a series of short little TikTokified videos set in the Star Wars universe featuring Greg the Stormtrooper, made in VO3. And the plot itself is simple. Greg is a day-in-the-life vlogger and a stormtrooper that shows off the ridiculousness of that idea. The comedy potential is obvious, but look at the quality of that. Look at the video. Now, there's gonna be, again, minor things, like sometimes underneath the helmet you can see skin, sometimes you can see the rubber seal. There's gonna be issues in, like, the pattern of dirt, no doubt, scratch marks, a lot of small things, but that looks good. That looks very good. There is no doubt in my mind whatsoever now that we are going to see fully generated AI videos in a year? Maybe 2 or 3. It's not only coming, it's here right now. And for entities like Disney or Star Wars, Star Trek, etc., DC, Marvel, who have produced near nothing but shit for a decade, oh, they are shitting themselves over this. Hold on, are you telling me that any group of actually passionate fans who knows the setting could generate products that are comparable to our own in hours by spending $500 instead of $500 million? Yeah, that is where we are right now. And hell, to show you another example here of DC, right, so here you have the image. This is image to video, so somebody took the image of Supergirl, simply uploaded it to a generator and said, hey, make her dance. 30 seconds later, again, it looks really, really scarily good, doesn't it? There's no wonder that the companies are panicking over shit like this, no wonder whatsoever, but this isn't as much of a slam dunk as one might think, because, well, there are obvious things, like they brought up a couple of examples here. This is obviously Deadpool. Nobody's gonna mistake him. If you show this picture to a normie, he's gonna go, oh yeah, Deadpool. This is obviously a minion. If you show this to any normal person, he's gonna go, yeah, that's a minion. But hold on. We're currently not even sure if you can copyright AI works at all. There's currently an ongoing legal battle. Can you do it? Does it fulfill the qualifier of being artistic, something created, something that can be copyrighted? And if it can't, well, how can something that cannot be copyrighted itself be a copyright infringement if it fails to even qualify as art? In that case, what do we define it as? What is it? Can it still be copyright infringement? And if it is, well, who are you suing? Who's really responsible for this? Because the people who made the code, Midjourney, can simply go, okay, yeah, that is an image, absolutely, but where in our code can you see this? Where's the copyright infringement in our software? And they go, well, look at the result. I'm like, okay, sure, that's a result, but I can make literally anything else. I can make a bunny, I can make a rainbow, yada, 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 yada. Why is this a direct result of our AI instead of, say, the guy who typed in the prompt? Do you sue him? If so, how? How would you even begin? Obviously, the lawsuit is launched against Midjourney because that is actually an identifiable entity that can be targeted. So this is probably going to go through quite a bit of litigation, as I do not think this is anywhere near as much of a slam dunk as people think it is. And Midjourney itself too, because normally you'd be expecting that, alright, a company like this, like Disney, Universal, will simply grind them down with legal costs. Founded in 2021, Midjourney had more than $200 million in revenue. In 2023, that reportedly made $300 million in revenue last year. Midjourney's got a couple of small pieces of chump change for some lawyers lying around as well, and they know that they are the challenges here as well. All of these AI services have grown enormously year after year, and they're only going to come in even greater demand as more and more people start figuring out what AI is and what you can do with it. They are very much so encouraged to stick to their guns, to keep this as free as possible, to keep this in a state of the wild, wild west, when anyone can create anything. Unironically, it might actually be better for all of us if AI-generated art cannot be copyrighted, if it remains this area of absolute wild abandon, where if you want to copyright something, you're going to have to physically, you yourself, create it. And of course, then the argument comes in, oh, but Photoshop tools, but you get my drift here, right? Whereas AI is all completely the wild, wild west. I genuinely think that would be the superior solution. And if anything then, it would introduce competition. Okay, Disney, you create the Acolyte, and some random dude on the internet makes Greg the Stormtrooper, or Dancing Superwoman, which is the one I clicked on there. Alright, who's gonna win? Greg, in all due likelihood. So Disney's going to have to up their game, as obviously there is always going to be a degree of pedigree involved here, right? An official product is going to have, in theory, far more support and far more availability. Hell, think of this the other way around. Disney, instead of spending $300 million on a flopped project, could go, okay, we're going to hire like 10 guys to make this AI-generated video stuff. It's going to cost us like $100,000, maybe $1 million, and we're going to take those other $299 million on marketing. Obviously, it would blow anyone else out of the water, and they wouldn't even need to spend a tenth of that in all due reality, so on. But if the companies can't produce anything good, if they're all bound up by the chains of SAG-AFTRA and so on, well, that's gonna get a lot more difficult, isn't it? So, this is going to be the first great challenge to the future of AI-generated content right here, because preferentially, in my preferred version, AI will become the great democratizer of entertainment, when anyone can create anything, when there can be 10,000 variants of Lord of the Rings that follow the book to varying degrees. Like, one of them is queer Lord of the Rings, full-on Pride Month bullshit from beginning to end, where Sauron is defeated not by throwing the ring into the volcano, but by calling him a bigot, and all the way up to following the book, word for word, scene for scene, and you, as the audience, will then simply pick the variant that you like the best. That would be the ideal scenario, but I guarantee you, the companies are going to fight tooth and nail to prevent that, and I gotta admit, I'm a pessimist. I think they're going to win. I think, in essence, we are going to end up in a situation where there will be official AIs produced by companies. Like, okay, you want to make anything DC related, you're going to need to purchase our license. As controlling this is going to be impossible. It's going to be far easier to actually hand it out piecemeal rather than attempting to police it completely, because there's already open source AI image generators out there. There's only a question of time before they become as good as the proper professional ones. There's only a question of time until they catch up to the image generators. This is not something that can be stopped, I think. It's just a question of how controlled and how slow the deployment will be. But, yeah. Worst of luck to Disney and Universal.